In the last video, I explained the inner makings of the computers that surround us. In this video, I'd like to step up away from wires and look at the bigger picture of personal computers. A computer is composed of multiple parts, each having a specific job. Together when combined, they form the familiar video playing and video gaming machines we're all familiar with. We're going to look over each of them briefly, as it will help us understand why some things are the way they are in programming languages. Often when talking about computer parts, the CPU is the first one to be mentioned, as such is said to be the most important one. In my opinion, there is another part that deserves this title, the motherboard. Its job is to connect the different parts of the computer together so they can share information and make calculations. This is akin to your skeleton or your skin, keeping everything together. The CPU comes next, those three letters abbreviating Central Processing Unit. Its job is to take instructions and get work done in the computer, say to solve a math problem. But it would be wrong to compare the CPU to your brain, because it has no memory of what it does. It takes an instruction, takes action, and immediately goes to the next instruction without remembering what it just finished. A better comparison would be your brain if you had Alzheimer's disease. You can think, do math, and sing, but not remember to tell anyone after. Next comes the hard drive. All it can do is remember, for something impressive of like up to 10 or 15 years. Just like the CPU, it can just do one thing, that is, to remember. By combining the motherboard, the CPU, and the hard drive, you finally have something similar to a brain. The hard drive can hold instructions, give them to the CPU through the motherboard, and the CPU can give a hard drive an answer so it can remember what it was for later. Nice. This setup is enough for a computer to work, but it would be awfully slow. Like mentioned earlier, hard drives can store information for a long time, but at the cost of learning and remembering slowly. So what can we do? Luckily, there's another part that can store information and learn and remember quickly called RAM. Those letters stand for Random Access Memory. The word random has nothing to do with how spontaneous it behaves, but more on that later. Since RAM is much more expensive than a hard drive, computers are designed to have big hard drives and a bit of RAM. The trick is to only use RAM when necessary and put the rest on the hard drive. So to recap, our personal computers are composed of different parts with different jobs. The motherboard glues them together and allows them to share information. The CPU gets work done. The hard drive remembers anything for a long time, and the RAM will quickly learn or remember any information when necessary. That's it for this video. You can access the next video by skipping to step 3 in this playlist or by finding the ENGM 1081 reviewed playlist on my channel.